Welcome. Ramana Maharshi's teachings are deep and profound. Listen, reflect, and deeply meditate. I'm Richard Clarke. I'm reviewing and commenting on the book Talks with Sri Ramana Maharshi. Today is from Talk 647. Questioner: we are trying to stop thoughts. Gandhiji also says that thought is an obstacle to God's guidance, so it is the natural state. Though natural, yet how difficult to realize. They say that sadhanas are necessary, and also that they are obstacles. We get confused. Maharshi: sadhanas are needed so long as one has not realized it. They are for putting an end to obstacles. Finally, there comes a stage when a person feels helpless notwithstanding the sadhanas. He is unable to pursue the much cherished sadhana also. It is then that God's power is realized. The self reveals itself. Questioner: if the state is natural, why does it not overcome the unnatural phases and assert itself over the rest? Maharshi: is there anything besides that? Does anyone see anything besides the self? One is always aware of the self, so it is always itself. In this exchange, the questioner is expressing confusion that many sincere people encounter along the spiritual path. They've heard, including from Gandhiji, that thoughts are obstacles to recognizing God's guidance, meaning that true peace and clarity come when the mind is quiet. The questioner points out that this silent state is described as natural, yet it feels very difficult to reach. Adding to their confusion, spiritual practices, sadhanas, are recommended, but some teachers say these too can become obstacles. The questioner wants to understand how this all fits together. Sri Ramana Maharshi addresses this with characteristic clarity. He begins by acknowledging that practices have their place. As long as someone has not realized the self, their own true nature, which is ever present and unchanging, practices are useful. Their purpose is to help remove obstacles created by the mind's habits, attachments, and identifications. These obstacles aren't real in the deepest sense, but to the person who feels caught in them, practices offer a way to quiet the mind and turn attention inward. Then the Maharshi points to something crucial. He describes a stage where, despite sincere effort, a person finds themselves unable to continue their practice. They cannot go any further. They might feel helpless, having reached the limits of personal effort. It is not a failure. It is a sign that the individual ego, the sense of being a separate doer, is dissolving. In that very hopelessness, when you stop relying on effort, when you stop relying on being the doer, the self shines by itself. This is when what was always true becomes clear. The power of pure being is revealed, and it is not something external. It is the self, your own eternal nature. There are two steps to the not to, non-dual awareness. The first step is quieting your mind. This is where practices which are done for and by the mind come into play. Step two is dive in. Dive into the awareness. Discover that this awareness is truly who you are. And knowing yourself, become as your identity, the awareness itself. When the questioner asks why this natural state doesn't simply overcome the disturbances of the mind and take over, Ramana Maharshi's reply cuts straight to the heart. He asks, is there anything besides that? In other words, nothing truly exists apart from the self. The sense of there being something else, like thoughts, obstacles, or confusion, is only a misunderstanding happening within the unchanging awareness of the self. Even when caught in thought, you are aware. That awareness is the self. So the self isn't absent or waiting to appear. It's always fully present as your own being. What is needed is to recognize that nothing ever truly covers or affects it. There is nothing that is not the self. Know that as yourself. So know yourself and be always free and at peace. Ramana Maharshi could say so much with just a few words. In these books, I give comments and guided inquiries in ordinary English to deepen your practice. Available from Amazon. The link is in the video notes. These videos bring Ramana's teachings into your direct experience. Click subscribe to see more. Click thumbs up to like, and send questions and start a dialogue with a comment.